Welcome to EdTech Tuesday. I'm Rich Dixon.
And I'm Jennifer Gibson, and today's app is Hopscotch, which is a great app to teach beginning programming.
Well, Jennifer...
I should say coding.
That's excellent. Let's take a look by starting it.
Okay. Now, Rich, I want to tell you, this is a free app, and the review that we're doing today is on version 1.4.1, so make sure that you match that with this. And let's go ahead and talk about the app.
All right, excellent. You've got a couple of examples, it looks like, here. Do you want to talk us through? You've talked about programming and all of that, but maybe give us an example to help us better understand what it is.
It's sort of a beginning coding app. So you can see a lot of different applications with this. 21st century learning skills, bringing in some mathematical principles, design principles. So there's a lot going on with the app that can help students think about what it takes to go into programming. So the neat thing about it is you can actually download some examples. So I have this sticky remix by Ash Graves. I downloaded it. On the left is the menu bar. And as a teacher, you're going to want to play with this and really get familiar with what all of these terms mean, how to use them, what they do, so that you can really teach the students about the terms.
And Jennifer, it looks like just taking a look at these, even if you're not someone who's very techie or feels very fluent in coding or the language around that, it seems that it's very self-descriptive in terms of what the actions are here.
It is, and let me just show you really quick that they do have some places to go for help where you can hit the question mark and you can find definitions for each of the blocks, so it gives you an idea of what each thing means. And then as you're more and more familiar with it, you won't need that. I've never done any coding, so I just sat down and played with this. And what I like about the app is you kind of learn by testing. So you do a little bit and you go and test it. And let me just show you what that looks like. So with this example, what I did is I looked at the example first and I kind of read through this, and it didn't make a lot of sense to me at first, but when I went to play, what you're going to see is a simple figure, and it's going to be animated now. It's also drawing a circle. Now that might not seem super exciting, especially on what we see in today's website and designs, but what I find is that what it took to actually have this happen. So when I now go back, I can see this is the code for just that simple movement. And I'm in awe of that. It's pretty exciting.
Well, what I think is great is that it begins to give students something tangible to do to begin learning some of the STEM concepts and principles that are often talked about if you're into instruction under the STEM model. And one of the other things that I like as well is it begins to prepare students, no matter what their background, for a way to become career and as well college ready.
And the 21st century skills.
Absolutely.
So the one I made, I just took a few moments and I took a look, and I just practiced by pulling things in. I didn't really have a pathway in mind. I just wanted to explore, and I really recommend having your students start off by exploring. I think partners would be a good one for this, to just kind of dialogue and talk about what's happening. So I just did this very quickly. Then I went ahead and I pushed play. That's what I got. But what the learning part for me was that took quite a bit of coding to get just the figure to move. And there were some things that I wanted to go back and then start to add in now that I knew what needed to happen next.
Well, and Jennifer, as I'm taking a look at this, just a couple things that come to my mind is there is some reading involved. And so for second language learners or for those students that struggle with text, while it's very simplistic, there may be some assistance that's needed. Another thing that I can see within here as well is, again, the opportunity for students to create and then test based off of their hypothesis, whether you have them write that down formally or you just have them informally guess as to what's going to end up happening, so they can begin to have a predictive understanding of what their efforts are going to produce.
Well, in the math skills, you've got coordinates here. So I say that this app would be ideal for intermediate grades 4 through 6, even 7 and 8, if you have the objective to match. But I mean, it just has some great things that the students can start to work with, practicing those math skills. I think this would be a great simulation to have as a station. It'd be a great part of the math curriculum.
And again, for those students that really do well with hands-on learning, even though this is virtual, this may be the kind of app that really connects with them and helps them to make abstract concepts more real and meaningful.